Okay, what you saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. And before we get into this, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I left a link to that in the live chat and also in the description below, because I'll be posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't be missing out on that. But like I said, we've got another live stream, so I can talk you through what's happening in the charts, any trades that I'm in, and just see if there's any opportunities coming up in the markets today. So first we'll start with AUD/USD, and you see with this one, we'll kind of just stall trap between these two trend lines that I was talking about on my live stream yesterday. You see a price breakout either to the downside or to the upside. If you see price breakout to the upside, we can probably be seeing that overall uptrend on the daily chart for AUD/USD start to kick in and see this continue to the upside and probably hit recent highs such as here, or even the last swing high it made on the daily chart all the way up there. But if you do see a swing to the downside and price go and break that 4H trend line going through the market down there, we could be seeing a nice trade to the downside, potentially going testing the lows down here or lows down there. Or if we start to see a new bearish trend in the market, we can see price breaking through that swing low and creating some new lows. So so far we've just tested that trend line again early this morning, and you can see we're just kind of moving sideways a little bit. There's a bit of bullish price action coming into the market there. We could be seeing another move to the upside to go and test that trend line, then another move back down, or price could be looking to go and break this trend line now and see the swing to the downside start to commence. So we'll see what happens during the live stream, and probably tomorrow's live stream as well, because you can still see this range further and not break out till the end of the week or even next week. But yeah, so far still moving sideways. Need to see a breakout to either trend line. But yeah, so far currently testing that lower trend line. Be interested to see if we see price go and break it. EUR/USD, now this one broke out the channel yesterday. As you can see, big strong bearish candle breaking through that channel, and now we can probably see it move to the downside for EUR/USD. As you can see, moving quite correctively, not very strong momentum to the upside, and price finally had a final test of that upper trend line and went to go and break it. We did see price break above our day level that we're looking at to see if price will hold out and give us a move to the downside. If we move the trend lines, you can see a little bit better. You can see you just move to the upside, broke through the trend line. Broke through the resistance line, sorry. So probably getting people on the wrong side of the market, looking for the buyers when price actually just gave us a doji and closed back low, and then that's going to be resistance for us again, and probably could be seeing a move to the downside for EUR/USD from a daily perspective. As you can see, big move to the upside. You do expect to see some retrace in the market, and this could just be a pullback, and expect price to resume its bearish counter trend move for EUR/USD on the daily chart. And again, we could be targeting lows in the market like so. You can see resistance for us there, nice place for price to come and find some support. That's obviously if we go and break this area here. As you can see, support here, push to the upside. So if you go and break that area, that's where we could be targeting for EUR/USD, or even the 200 moving average if you do get a really nice swing on the daily chart to the downside. Again, from a daily point of view, we're starting to look bearish again, and probably could be expect that to continue. On the 4H, again looking bearish there, and since we broke out that channel, I'll probably next target for EUR/USD is probably the low down here, or probably the low all the way down here. Again, that's a fairly big move on the 4H chart anyway. Again, over 100 pips, so you could be looking for those pullbacks if prices to come back, find some resistance, and target the lows down here, because that's still got 100 pips to go. And if you do make it there, that could be a decent trade. USD/CHF, again similar to EUR/USD, we had a big move because of US dollar strength, and you can see if I zoom in, you can see a big bullish candle there pushing to the upside, and looks like become kind of broken through this area in the market here, previous support, time resistance. As you can see, we're broken through, and we're sort of just hovering above it. We do have this trend line going through the market, which is probably why price is moving sideways a little bit, as you can see. Initial test there, another test there, a little bit false breakout of that wick, and we're just kind of at that same trend line. So we see price go and break that, we could be seeing a nice move to the upside for USDCHF, and probably get the move that we've been expecting to the upside for this pair. We could probably just treat that move that we had to the downside as a false breakout. As you can see, push to the downside, there's our support, and that had that bearish candle come to the downside. Again, similar to Euro USD, probably getting people alongside the market thinking price will continue to the downside, but then you can see a little bit of a small body candle there, and the bullish candle just closing above that same support. So we could be seeing a move to the upside for USDCHF. This is a very strong bullish candle. The sideways move we're having here is probably some correction maybe, and then seeing price continuing that upwards journey. So again, we could probably see price going to take out some of these highs. We've got a high there, another high there, another one there, and the last previous high on the daily chart there. So we could be seeing a good move for USDCHF if we are to have a push to the upside. And again, a lot of pips in that move. Again, over 100 pips, similar to USD. So these moves can be taken advantage of if you get those pullbacks. Again, you're targeting the highs of the move, and again, if you go and break that previous high, we'll probably be targeting this area here in the market. But you can see I've got my level, previous support. So again, price could be attracted to that area. That's if we go and break this previous high here. So obviously that's going to be acted as resistance with that move to the downside from that area. But if we go and break that area, we could be targeting this previous support, term resistance, or just above it, the 200 moving average as well. So this has a lot of upside potential, and probably could be seeing this kicking in soon, as long as this is a false breakout and we see price resume to the upside, which does look like it's likely. At a very strong move, bit of correction at that trend line, then see price continue to the upside. So that could be what's happening with USDCHF. And again, you can be looking for those pullbacks and targeting areas like so on the 4H as price gives you those moves to the upside. GP USD, again similar. We had a push to the downside, US dollar strength as well, and you can see we had a nice push to the downside. Broke through our trend line that we'll talk about in the market. We were saying that GP was respecting this trend line quite nicely, but ultimately you can see that we've actually had price go and break it, and now we could be seeing this swing to the downside for GP USD. We do have this trend line going through on the daily chart that I've been looking at, and I was saying we potentially could be getting a move to the upside, breaking through the trend line and starting to continue to go and create higher highs and potentially go and test the high there. But as you can see, we've kind of just run out of momentum a little bit, and could be seeing that continue to the downside to go and give another retest of that daily trend line that we've got going through the market there. As you can see, we broke through that trend line. A little bit of volatility there, but we're still expecting that to continue to the downside nonetheless. We broke through that trend line, that's going to act as a resistance. We got a few levels there that act as a resistance for us there. Obviously price came to test this area, as you can see, support for us previously, support again. So you can see we had a little move to the upside from there, as you do expect, but ultimately we're expecting price to go find resistance and continue on that bearish move for GPUSD, potentially to go and test that trend line, and we'll see what happens from there for this pair, because we could potentially be looking for the GPUSD to continue to move to the upside from there. But if you see price go and break that area, again we've got a couple places we can go. We can go test the 200 moving average, or we got previous levels down here acting as support there, could be acting as support there for GPUSD as well if you go and break that trend line. So there's a few areas we could be targeting from a daily point of view if we do get that swing, if we do get that break of the daily trend line. But as of yet, that's what we're targeting for price to hit that daily trend line. Then we'll see what type of price action GPUSD is giving us when we get to that area. Next, Aud Cad. Now Aud Cad is looking like it could potentially be having moved to the upside, but a very strong place in the market from a daily point of view. If I just move this up a little bit, as you can see here, very strong place in the market, resistance for us here all along here, multiple wicks for us, push to the upside, breaking above it, test it again as support, again test it again as support. Again, we're at that same area of support, so we could be seeing another move to the upside, but you do have to take into account that we are making those lower highs. So that means that that support level does stand a chance of breaking soon and seeing us swing to the downside. And if that's the case, we could be targeting the 200 average for Aud Cad if we do break through the support. But again, we haven't broken through the support yet, so that area in the market still going to act as support and still probably give us a move to the upside. Obviously, we don't know how big. It could be very big, it could be very small, but it's still going to act as support, and we will be expecting a move to the upside unless price goes and just breaks that level, and then we could be seeing a nice swing to the downside from a daily point of view, and we're going to be targeting that 200 moving average there as price probably goes to find a little bit of a deeper pullback. As you can see, big uptrend there. Probably expect a little bit of a bigger retrace in the market before it decides to continue on. Aud Cad on the 4H, you can see we're testing that same area again where that red line is. That's the level, and you can see a little bit of bullish price action, but currently 10am close and 6am close gave us 2 doji, so a little bit indecision there. So probably wouldn't want to be entering the trade on there on the indecision candles, just because it represents indecision, and we could be going to the upside or to the downside. So again, if we get a strong bullish close, maybe at 2 p.m, maybe you can look to go along on that pair if you stop loss just below the swing low there, and probably targeting areas like so. You can see previous resistance for us there, also support there, so nice area to target, or even the 200 moving average down the 4H, which could be a nice trade as well. So it could be looking to take advantage of that, but again, in my opinion, not quite ready just yet. Aud Jpy. Now this one was slowly climbing up. I had a push to the downside though. As you can see, we do have, if I just move this out of the way, we do have this trend line going through the market here, giving us those higher highs. Currently, we're right at that same trend line again. Again, it's not really clear if we're breaking it or not, as we're kind of just at that same trend line. If we do see a break of that, again, that's where we're expecting price to go to the downside. And again, we've got some nice areas to target. So this very strong level here, support, 3 times, give us that move to the upside. So that could be a nice area to target. And if you go and break that, then we could be targeting the swing low down there. And again, if we are getting the bearish trend, counter trend move, we're probably expecting that swing low to break and for price to continue to the downside. But on the flip side, we do have this trend line that price was respecting before, and then we saw a break of it. As you can see, multiple tests along here of the trend line. You can see price broke above it, and we're kind of just hovering at it. So that's probably why we're getting that sideways movement and those dojis for Aud Jpy, because we've got those 2 trend lines kind of meeting exactly where price is at right now. So if price wants to have a push to the upside, we could be seeing that happening. Or if price wants to break the trend lines and have a push to the downside, we could probably see that happening as well. From a daily point of view, we probably are expecting a move to the downside. So that gives us a little bit of bias there of anticipating a break to the downside. As you can see, we've drawn my levels in. This is for Aud Jpy. You can see previous resistance for us there, push to downside, resistance again, push to downside, resistance again, push to downside, support for us there, push to the upside. Again, it's going to act as a resistance for us there as well. So you can see very strong resistance area, and we can essentially treat this whole period of price here as a false breakout, because as you can see, it's holding for us nicely there. Breakout to the upside, catch the longer term people that trade the long term time frames on the wrong side of the market. Broke back below, retesting that same resistance now, and probably expecting another move to the downside to commence, and to go and test the lows of that same move all the way down there, all the way down here, sorry, and then going to test the 200 moving average if you're going to look to break that area as well. So for Aud Jpy, strong resistance on the daily chart, and you do expect that resistance to hold and probably give us a move to the downside. You already see we've got a couple bearish days there, but ultimately expecting that momentum start building up and probably see price continue a lot further. You can see we already have that push to the downside. Down price could just be retracing, and just because we're a strong area in the market, you've got this trend line here going through, providing some trend line support there, and obviously we've got the the bearish trend line as well, going through the market as well, providing a bit of support. So you can see why we have that sideways movement, but ultimately probably expecting price to continue just because of where we are in the daily market there. So yeah, for Aud Jpy, I probably expect that to continue. Again, you probably want to be selling the market right now. As you can see, we found support. We've got that trend lines intersecting right there. Not the best area of the market you want to be shorting. If you did see price go pull back further, probably to go and hit the 200-minute average on the 4H, that could be a nice entry there. If we get some bearish price action, as of yet, we want to be taking some shorts on that price action there and on that place on the 4H chart. Next, we take a look at Cad Jpy. Now, so for Cad Jpy, again, you can see we're kind of just moving sideways now. We had a push to the downside, push back up, closing above the moving averages, closed back below, and kind of just gave us the wick to the downside. It looks like price came to actually go and test this trend line here, going through the market. Test this trend line here. As you can see, initial test there, second test there, and third test there. So we could be seeing price continue to the upside from this trend line. We did have this trend line here gaining more tests, so you could probably see price pull back a little bit further to go and test that one. Again, we don't know which trend line is going to send it up, or neither might send it up, and price might trickle down to the downside for Cad Jpy. But the price action for me there is quite bullish, and I probably wouldn't be guessing a move to the downside unless we see a big bearish candle just coming and closing down the lows there and starting to build up that bearish momentum. But as of yet, price action for Cad Jpy is quite bullish. I'm probably expecting another move to the upside for that one. Again, we've got some daily levels up there. You can see previous resistance again. So that could be a place where price is drawn to for Cad Jpy. And if it is, we can definitely be looking to short the market up there and provide some nice entries there if we do get some bearish price action. So that's what we're looking for Cad Jpy. But as of yet, the bearish price action is not really there for me. So yeah, we want to be short in the market as like that for Cad Jpy. Next we got Euro Jpy. Again, this one broke out of the trend line that I was speaking about yesterday. As you can see, we have this channel going on. Test there, second test there, we had a third test, a little bit of wicks there. Not really the bullish price action that I was speaking about yesterday, so we probably could have got a break of that trend line. As you can see, that big bearish candle came and broke that trend line, and probably are seeing a swing to the downside for Euro Jpy now. We had our support level there, and you see resistance support, so that could be a nice place where prices are attracted to for Euro Jpy to contest that. And if we go and break that level, we'll be targeting the lows down there, and again, that could be a nice place for 4H trade. Daily time frame, again, we're probably expecting a longer swing to the downside since we're coming out of that that channel there. Probably expecting a nice move to go and test either 200 moving average or the recent low that we had there in the market from a daily time frame point of view, because we are expecting a nice reversal for Euro Jpy, where that nice push to the downside, retrace, and then push to the downside again. So that's could what be happening. And you can see what area in the market we came from on the daily time frame here. You can see support for us there, twice actually, test there, and another test there. Then again, it's going to act as resistance for us, and you can see ultimately we had a nice move to the downside from that area. I'm probably expecting that to continue a lot further for us. So yeah, from a daily point of view, we're probably expecting a nice move to the downside. Again, 4H, the move's already started, so you probably want to be looking for some pullbacks in the market there. And again, could be having initial targets at this area in the market here, and then second there, and then if we go and break that, we could be targeting a lot further on the 4H. But as of yet, still looking bearish and probably expecting that move to continue. Next we've got Gbp Aud. Now Gbp Aud gives us a nice move to the downside as well. I think we might have broken out our trend line. Yeah, as you can see, this was our trend line support all through the market, through this move to the upside. Then we had our resistance here on the daily time frame. I'll jump to the daily. and zoom in, you can see this is the daily time frame here. This is all our resistance all along here, and as you can see here, support as well there. So it was a strong area in the market, key level, resistance for us there, push downside, resistance again, and resistance again a third time. So you can see price is holding at this level. It's a strong level, and from a daily time frame point of view, could be the level that sends the market back down. And on the 4H, you can see we recently had a break of that trend line. We found a bit of support at the 200 moving average there as well, and a little bit of a move to the upside. But ultimately expecting this move to continue to the downside. Again, that trend line is going to act as resistance now, and probably see price resume off it. But again, yeah, still expecting a move to the downside for Gbp Aud since we've got unbroken this trend line, and could be targeting multiple targets. There's a nice support level down there. Could be looking to sustain resistance just above there, support there, or we could be looking for even longer move all the way to the bottom there, which could be a nice move as well. And again, if you do reach that area, again, we'll be looking for some nice longs on Gbp Aud, anticipating another move to the upside if you get some nice bullish price action. But as of yet, still at the 200 moving average. Obviously, that's going to act as support for us, but nonetheless, still expecting Gbp Aud to come and have another move to the downside. However, we could be seeing another move to the upside to go and test that same resistance a fourth time. If that's the case, if you do get bearish price action again, you can be looking to go short on that pair as well. As of yet, we'll be wanting to short that just because of the bullishness of it. We could probably see another move to the upside. So again, if you go find some nice resistance or against the trend line and give us a nice bearish price action, could be looking to short the market there. Next we've got GBP Jpy. Of this one, similar to GBP USD, we had a nice move to the downside yesterday. So if I draw the trend line in as so this was the channel that we sort of had on GBP Jpy. Our price moving very correctively, as you can see, nice push to the downside prior to that move, and then after that just moving correctly to the upside. So ultimately probably expecting a move to the upside if we were to go and break that lower trend line there. But yeah, that could be what's happening now. As you can see, very strong break of the trend line there, but a little bit of bullishness again, testing some previous support in the market. You can see support there, which gave us the move to the upside, so acting as support there for us again. So after see that continue, go find some resistance, and ultimately expecting GBP Jpy to continue that move to the downside for us. And again, we've got multiple areas to look at in this chart. We've got a nice level in the market just around here. As you can see, support for us numerous times. So if we are to find resistance, that could be a first target. Then we've got some nice level here, resistance again, and that's support. I'm probably expecting the price to go and reach that level. Then if we go and break that, again, you can be targeting the lows all the way down here, which can make up for a nice trade on GBP Jpy. And on the daily time frame there, you can see that big bearish candle there, breaking through that resistance and closing below the 200 moving average there as well. So again, providing some extra confidence of why we're expecting that to continue to the downside. We could be seeing a nice move to the lows, like I said, down here. But if we do see price go and break that, we got lows just below it on GBP Jpy just down here. As you can see, support for us there, support again, and that's the move. That's the area of the market, that gave us that big move to the upside to go and test that area. So again, that's going to act as strong support. So we could be seeing the market again attract to that area, particularly, and seeing a nice long setup for us there on the flip side, and anticipating another move to the upside for GBP Jpy if we do get there. But as of yet, from a 4H point of view, could be seeing a little bit of a move to the upside of the bullish price action that we're getting on the lower time frames like the hourly, and starting to come into the 4H, but ultimately expecting that to reverse and give us a nice bearish move to the downside. GP NZD, again, similar scenario. Again, we have a lot of pairs just breaking through their trend lines yesterday actually, and as you can see, we had this trend line going through the market on GP NZD, and again, this here was our resistance in the market as well. So again, similar to GP Aud, and again, GP Aud and GP NZD moves very similar, and you can see we had our resistance just above us, tested it 3 times, and again had that trend line and gone and broken it as well. So that's exactly what happened with GP Aud as well. and you can see we had another move to the downside of quite a few consecutive bear candles down the 4H. Again, same thing, found support in the market, support here, gave us that move to the upside, again support there, and it's going to act as support there as well. And as you can see, we've had that push to the upside. So again, you can see we're already starting to wick out a little bit, that bearishness starting to take control again. But we could be seeing another move to the upside as price goes to retrace this bearish move that we had. Again, we've got the 200-moving average just above us. So if price wants to make a way up a little bit more, go find some resistance there. We could be looking at a nice short trade for GPNZD. Again, the initial targets probably got to be the low here that we initially had that move to the upside from. But from then on, we could be looking at extending our targets to down here probably. As you can see, resistance along there. That's a nice area. Or again, we can look for the previous swing low all the way down there, which could be a nice trade as well. So again, if we get to that area, we could be looking for some longs again for GPNZD, but for now, probably expecting that bearishness to continue, but could be seeing a little move to the upside to go find some resistance before that happens. Next, we've got Usd Jpy. Now, Usd Jpy kind of just moving a little bit sideways now. It's not really making its mind up whether it wants to break through the resistance or go and break through the trend line. It's still kind of moving sideways. As you can see, this is the resistance that we're looking at in the market. You see resistance there, push the downside, a little bit false breakout, went test the trend line again, and acting as resistance for us there as well. And of course, we've got the 200-moving average just above it, acting as resistance as well. So if you see price break up to the upside or break through that resistance level there, that's going to act as support, and we could be seeing a longer move to the upside, go and test the highs up here for Usd Jpy, or all the way up there with this pair. But again, if you see a break to the downside, break through that trend line, again we could be targeting levels like so. As you can see, very strong area of support there, support there, support there, support there. So again, that's going to act as support, so a good area to target if we do see a break of the trend line. And if you do get some bearish price action at that resistance, could be anticipating a break of the trend line to see a move to the downside. And if you see a break of that area of the market, we could be targeting the lows down here for that for Usd Jpy. But you do have to take into account we're sort of in a ranging market from a daily point of view. As you can see, we've got our clear highs up there of resistance, and we've got our clear lows of that range pattern here. So if we see a break, if we see a push to the downside to go and test that area again, we could be seeing another move to go and test the highs. Nonetheless, if we do see price go and break the bottom, the support level of our ranging pattern that we got on the daily, we could be seeing a longer move to the downside, possibly to go and test the highs down here. As you can see, resistance for us all along here, so looking at that support, and that could be a really nice area to target for Usd Jpy on the daily point of view. But obviously we first have to go and break that level there, and you can see 3 times we tried to break it, 3 times we failed. So very strong area. So we might not break it, we could break to the upside and see this uptrend continue. If that's the case, we could be looking for longs on the support level here if we do go and test that. But nonetheless, current price action, we're kind of just moving sideways a little bit, still stuck at that resistance. And again, if we see price break to the upside, we know where we're targeting. Again, if we see price break to the downside, we know where we're targeting. But so far, not really the price action for us to get into any trades if you aren't already for Usd Jpy. As you can see, we're looking a little bit bullish, a lot of dojis there, a lot of indecision, not really clear where the market wants to go. So wouldn't want to be trying to anticipate that just yet. Need some more bearish price action to come for us there in the market. We'll be keeping our eye out for that. NZD CHF, this one, expecting move to the upside, and as you can see, that's what's happening. We are looking very bullish again on NZD CHF. On the daily time frame, I drew this level, this bullish trend line in the market. And you can see initially test there, second, third, and the fourth there. And I was saying we could be seeing another move to the upside from this trend line, and seeing a nice push to the upside. And I was saying we'll probably see a break of this trend line as well. And as you can see, we've seen a break of that trend line, and price is looking quite bullish as well for us now. Had a fourth test of the daily trend line, and price has gone to the upside. So again, initial targets were this level in the market just here, which price has almost gotten to it already. So we'll probably see a pullback from there. But then if you see price go and break that level, we'll be targeting the highs up there for USD, and probably see a nice move to the upside for this pair. But probably just expecting this to continue, and probably ultimately going to test the highs up there. And again, if you see price go and break that, we've got levels just above and levels here. And again, if we see price break that, we can target much higher up there. But from a daily point of view, we could be seeing a nice move here. 4H looking very bullish, and probably expecting that to continue. Again, you could probably be looking for buys on this one, but again, you got resistance not too far away. You got all those wicks there. That's probably the first target area. So again, if you're looking to go long, it's not probably the best place. So you probably want price to pull back a little bit, a lot more, to give you that room of pips to collect. But if you do go break that level, again, we could be seeing a nice move to go and test the highs up there. And again, if you see price go and retest that same level it broke through, that'd be a nice trade setup for you to capitalize on a few pips there. About, again, over 60 pips, so not a bad trade. But yeah, still expecting NZD-CHF to continue to the upside. So currently, I'm in NZD Cad and Euro GBP and USD Cad, all long trades. NZD Cad I got in on Monday, I believe. Yeah, for a long trade, and as you can see, it was moving sideways for a little bit, but it's starting to play out a little bit now. Again, same reason I got in long for this as for NZD-CHF, which I was just speaking about. We do have this trend line going through the market here, and you can see we had a fourth test of that trend line. So again, still anticipating a move to the upside from that trend line. You see very strong trend line going through the market. Every time I had a test, nice move to the upside. Again, a big move to the upside, a fairly big move to the upside. So still expecting a move to the upside. So that's why I got long on NZD Cad. And again, initial target, the 200 moving average just there, and the second target is that level there. And if we go and break that, we could be targeting much higher. We've got levels up here, which could be a nice trade. But nonetheless, still expecting my initial target to be hit if we see price continue that bullishness and go and test the 200 moving average. I also got into a USD Cad long trade. A USD Cad long trade yesterday. As you can see, I got in when price closed above my 200, my moving averages, sorry, my 14 and my 7, and my stop loss was just below price here. Just move that trend line. My stop loss is just below price, because if this was just price is just about here. If this was price just moving sideways, in order for it to continue in downtrend, then I would have my stop loss fairly tight, because you could probably see another one of these long bearish moves just happen again. So I didn't want to have a big stop loss very tight, just because that could happen. So if I'm going to move on quickly, or I'm going to be right. So I got into a nice long trade there, stop loss just below the lows there, and targeting a nice move to the upside. Initially, again, I tested the 200 moving average, or this level here in the market. As you can see, resistance, support. So that could be a nice trade there. And we also got this trend line there as well. So we can go and test that trend line there. And that's a nice area in the market we could be targeting. You can see that we did have a bearish close on 10 a.m. there, looking quite bearish. But ultimately, I hadn't hit my stop loss yet. Could be seeing a move just to go test the lows. So I didn't get out of the market, and I'm still holding that position. We'll see what happens throughout the live stream. I'll be talking to you through this trade throughout the week as well. And I also got into a Euro GBP long as well. As you can see, we kind of had a bit of volatility in the market. It looks like it reversed quite well. I initially got into this one again yesterday, same time as USD Cad, and you can see we had a big push to the upside. I got in on this candle here and this bullish candle there, and from there we had a nice move to the upside. But you can see price is kind of reversed a little bit for Euro GBP. well, not a little bit, quite a lot. We do have this trend line going through the market here, and we do have this one as well. So I did take some profit when we initially go and test the trend line up here. So this was the outer trend line that I was looking at. I'm still anticipating a break of this outer trend line though for GP and see a move to the upside. As you can see, multiple tests of this lower trend line. So expecting price to initially go and break the upper trend line and see a swing to the upside. So that's what I was anticipating for GP. I took some profit just in case we didn't break it when we hit that trend line. As you can see, we reversed very quickly to the downside there. So yeah, still going to hold on to this one. I'll still bank some profit from it. So if price was to reverse, I'm going to hit my stop loss. That's completely fine. We do have a stop loss just below price where I got in there on the 4H, just below where I got in, and we could be seeing another move to the downside, or we can see price reverse for us and continue back up. Nonetheless, we'll be staying this trade and we'll be commenting on how it goes throughout the live stream as well and throughout the week as well. If we do see a break of this trend line here, we could be seeing a nice swing to the upside nonetheless, but again, still looking quite bearish. So it'll be interesting to see how this trade plays out. But yeah, those are the three pairs I'm in: GP, USD Cad, and Usd Cad, all long trades. And yeah, just will be commenting how they go and to see how they got on throughout the live stream and again throughout the week. If anyone wants me to look at any different charts or any different pairs, or just wants my opinion on something, just put it in the live chat. I'll make sure I get back to you. But yeah, just will be looking at my trades throughout the live stream and also looking at different charts, see how they're playing out and see if we've got any opportunities coming soon. And yeah, if you want any opinions or any help, just feel free and put it in the live chat. But yeah, just we'll be seeing how the charts and just seeing how the markets play out today. Okay, what are you saying, people? I'm going to do a quick recap of what's going on in the current markets before we look to end the session and talk you through my trades as well. So first we'll start with AUD USD. You can see that this one's slowly climbing that trend line there. Again, like I've been saying, we've got that trend line just above it and below it, kind of keeping price trapped in that direction there. So we need to see price break out to the upside or to the downside, and then get some better direction for AUD. If we do see a break to the downside, we can probably see a nice swing on the daily chart there really start to kick in, and probably test the 200 moving average or this level here. As you can see, you've got some nice support there, so you can probably see a move to that area in the market. But again, if we see a break to the upside, you can probably see price continue in that upwards trend. But as of yet, still moving sideways. So far, I've got a doji, still got an hour left there. So we'll find out at 2 p.m. how that closes. But again, not too much going on the AUD there. Euro USD. This one looks like it's pulling it back up a little bit. Could be seeing a push to the upside, price going to find some resistance. As you see, a big bearish candle that we had yesterday. We do expect some retrace, but we're still treating this as price having a little bit of retrace, correcting itself before it looks to continue that move. We do have some support just about here, as you can see why we're getting that bullish movement. But ultimately, probably expecting that to continue to the upside. We broke through the channel that we're having in the market, as you can see. So you could be seeing a move to go and test the trend line before price continues in that bearish movement. But again, still got an hour left for that candle to close. Could be seeing that pull back. USD CHF, again, similar thing. We had a push to the upside, giving us a wick there. And we do have this trend line going through the market like so, which is what I was talking about earlier. As you can see, multiple tests of the trend line again there. So could be seeing another move to the downside, possibly to go and test some previous support area running through the market here. As you can see, support for us there, again acting as support. So it depends which way price wants to break out of. Potentially could be seeing price break out that support area and seeing a push to the downside, possibly going to the low there. But if you see price breaking out the trend line, then we could be seeing a nice swing to the upside, where we could be targeting either the highs of that trend line there, or the highs made previously in the daily chart all the way up there. As you can see on the daily time frame, the high there, we're going to be targeting the support level here, which will be term resistance for us up there. But as of yet, still trapped between this area. We'll find out what happens soon, probably by the end of the day or early tomorrow. But so far, still price is trapped between that trend line and this support area going through the market there. GP USD, and this one looking quite bullish again. We had a move to this support area in the market, as you can see, push the downside here. Push downside, then push back up, again push back up there again. So nice support area there. We had this trend line going through the market like so. As you can see, we're actually not quite at that trend line yet. So we could be seeing price coming up to get a retest of that trend line before continue back down. But if you do see price continue above that trend line, then could be CGPUSD continuing to the upside. Again, we do have some resistance going through the market just around here. So you can see there's a little bit of confluence around here. We've got the resistance of that, push to downside. We've got the 200 moving average going through in the 4H, and also the trend line just above it. So if price wants to get above it, we're going to have to see a lot of strong momentum for price to get carried above there, and probably see that continue. But for now, GPUSD is looking quite bullish, and probably could be seeing that continue to the upside, unless we go find some resistance and get some nice bearish price action going on. But we'll see at 2 p.m. what that candle gives us. Aud Jpy, again similar to AUD, we're kind of trapped between this trend line going through the market like so, and the larger trend line we've got going from all the way up here, going through the market. And we are wanting to see which price will break away to. As you can see, both trend lines are acting as support. We're kind of stuck right at that intersection, so price can break to the upside, probably see another move, and price go and make some higher highs. But if we break to the downside, we could be seeing a nice push, creating some lower lows there, and probably targeting the daily 200 moving average if we were to get a really nice counter trend move. Again, like I've been saying at the start of the live stream, we have some very strong daily resistance. As you can see, resistance there, again there, support for us there, treating that as a false breakout and retesting that as resistance. So possibly could be seeing that continue to the downside and price go make some lower lows. But yeah, for now, as long as we stay below that resistance, that's what we're expecting for price. We could be due another move to the upside before that happens. If that is the case, we could be targeting the 200 average or the resistance there. Again, we look for some shorts if we do get the price action we want. Cad Jpy, again, we're expecting a move to the downside for this one. We're looking bearish again. The current 4H candle is looking bearish. Again, you can see on the hourly, not too much going, effectively just moving sideways. We do have those wicks at the bottom there as price was failing to break down. So again, we've still got an hour left for this candle to close, so we could even get a wick for this candle and price close bullish. We'll find out 2 p.m. of course, but if we were to see price continue to the downside, we could be seeing another test of this trend line that we have got going through the market, and probably expect price to continue to the upside. But if we go and break that, we could be seeing a longer move to the downside for Cad Jpy. As of yet, not a real clear opportunity for that pair, so we won't be looking to take any trades for that at 2 p.m. Euro Jpy broke through our trend line like this. As you can see, a lot of pairs broke through their trend lines. You can see initially test there of the market, another one there, and we've got multiple there of wicks, and we had that big bearish candle closing below. But we're expecting that momentum to continue to the downside for Euro Jpy. Again, we're targeting the recent lows. You've got a nice one here, or we can keep going if we break through there and go target the lows down here. We could be seeing some correction there, bit of retracing the market. As you can see, big bearish candle. We do expect some move to the upside before we see that bearishness continue. But ultimately, still expecting Euro Jpy to push to the downside unless we get it back above this trend line here. Unless we make our way back above that, so we could be pushing to find that resistance. But unless we get back above, we're still expecting Euro Jpy to continue to the downside. Euro NZD. Now this one broke through again, another trend line on the 4H. Again, we had this trend line going through the market like so, and we had a little bit of a channel going through, as you can see here. If I connect the highs, again, we had this channel going through the market. Again, a little bit of wicks above it, false breakout there, pushed to the downside. That again, that lower trend line was going to act as support. We broke through it and probably expecting price to continue to the downside. You can see that currently stuck at this level around here. Again, previous support again was sort of stuck at there, a wick to the downside. But if you see price go and break that again, we'll be targeting the lows down here. As you can see, a test there, another test there. We could be seeing a third test of that area, so that could be a nice place we're expecting USD to head to. And again, we still got again almost 200 pips to the downside. So if you get some nice pullbacks, could be looking for some entries there for USD. We've got this trend line running through the market, so potentially if you see price go and test that trend line, or if that 200 average just above it, or again the same trend line going through here, that'd be a nice place to look to short if you do get the bearish price action to do so. Let's take a look at GBP Jpy. Again, similar to GBP USD, big push to the upside we're having so far on the 4H. You can see we broke through this channel that we're having in the market. Numerous tests of this lower trend line here, broke through it yesterday. Looks like we're having some retrace. I mean, as long as price is still below this lower trend line, I'm still favouring GBP Jpy to break to the downside, unless again we climb back above it. In that case, we could see price resume its upwards movement, and we'd probably have to treat this push to downside as a false breakout. But as of now, we are looking bullish and probably could be expecting that to continue as momentum has shifted to the bulls, and probably expecting that to continue. And if you get a retest of that trend line and get some nice bearish price action, could be looking to short the market there, or that 200 moving average. But yeah, we are looking bullish again for GBP Jpy. But we'll see at 2 p.m. what price gives us then. Usd Jpy, again, you can see we're back at that same resistance, and price is still failing to break it. Again, resistance there, a little bit false breakout, resistance. Probably expecting price to go and break through that same resistance, and give us another move to the downside where we could targeting the lows such as down here, or even all the way down there if we get a nice move there. But as of yet, the 4H hasn't closed yet, so we'll see what the 4H brings us at 2 p.m. there. And the CHF, again for this one, we're expecting a move to the upside, and as you can see, we're kind of having some retrace in the market there. We broke through this trend line here, initially a test there, again multiple there, again we had another one there, so we could be seeing price coming back to go and retest the trend line before resuming off. We also got this trend line going through the market as well. As you can see, initially a test there, a second test there, so we could be seeing a third test before price continues to the upside. Current price action, we're looking quite bearish. Of course, we've still got an hour left, but we are looking quite bearish on the 4H. And the hourly, again, you can see push upside, but that immediately turned around. So again, looking a bit bearish there. We'll see how 2 p.m. closes. We've still got the 200 acting as support, so again, we could be seeing a reaction there, but it'll be interesting to see where we close above it or below it. Usd Cad is actually a pair I'm trading. As you can see, there's my long position there, which I entered on Monday. Still anticipating move to the upside. We've got a nice trend line going through the market there, acting as some daily support for us. Anticipating that trend working out, have a nice push to the upside. We do have this trend line going through the market here, and you can see we actually have another test of that trend line. So again, that's going to act as resistance. So it could be due to see another move to the downside to go and test that trend line again, and then get a break of that resistance there and see a push to the upside. But of course, that is going to act as resistance for me, and it'll be interesting to see if we go and break it. I'll be holding this position. I've got my stop loss just below this trend line here, so around there is my stop loss, so it gives me room to see if price is going to test the trend line again and then go and break it. But yeah, we'll be holding this position, and we'll be updating you again tomorrow to see how it's getting on. I'm still in Usd Cad. Again, still expecting a move to the upside for this one, unless you go and take out my stop loss. My stop loss is just below the low of this this low down here, just below those candles, and still anticipating move to the upside. Again, my initial target would be the 200 moving average just above it there, or go and test this resistance level up here. As you can see, resistance, support. Again, it would be nice to see another move to go and test that resistance, or go test the trend line just above it. So that's what I'll be looking at for Usd Cad, unless we turn around and go and hit my stop loss. But we'll be holding this position, and be talking about it again during the live stream tomorrow. And also, I'm in Aud Jpy. You can see this one's reversing quite rapidly as well. We had a test of the upper trend line here, as you can see, going through the market. With initially a test there, and we had a couple there, and you can see I had a third test. If I just move these lines to clear up the chart, as you can see, we had a move to the upside originally from this area here, which is where I got into the market on the engulfing candle, and a push to the upside, and anticipating a break of this trend line here to see price continue to the upside. Ultimately, you can see we got rejected quite well from that area. I took a little bit of profit at the 10 a.m. because you can see we had a big rejection, big wick, sorry, there at that trend line. So I took some profit just in case we turned around. As you can see, that's exactly what happened. Price shot back down. You can see the current candle's very bearish, and taking price all the way back down. My stop loss is below where I got into the market, so below here. So I'll probably just be using that stop loss for me to get in out of the market now. So just going to see how this trade plays out. You could be seeing price come back to have another test of the trend line, or coming and have a test of the support level again, then resuming back to the upside. If that's the case, my stop loss is just below, so I'll be fine for if that's going to happen. But again, I'll be checking to see how this trade gets on. I'll be updating you again tomorrow to see what happens for Aud Jpy. But yeah, I'm in those three trades, and we'll be talking about it again tomorrow. But thank you for joining me during this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, make sure you join me on my Telegram channel. I left a link to that in the live chat, because I'll be posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and don't be missing out on that. But thank you for joining me, and until the next one, I'll see you later.